Hello, everyone. Welcome back to Real Wisdom Artificial Intelligence. So today is June 26th. It is a cloudy day here in Boston, and I'm bringing you this from right outside the Cambridge side Galeria Mall. I just stepped out for a short walk. You can see the fountain in the background. Let's go ahead and get started for today. Today's dose of Rashmi is an integrated intelligence organization operates with the clarity that a balance across the logical, emotional, and intuitive intelligence of the collective team is all it needs to navigate any external situation and succeed. So, for those of you who have been following me along regularly, you would have noticed that the format of the dose of Rashmi today is different. I did not start with a sentence about intellect and then go into wisdom, integrated intelligence, collective intelligence, etc. How I've been doing throughout this series. And that is deliberate. At this point, enough has been said through this series about the limitations when you're operating purely from logical intellect. And as I keep saying, this series is not about real wisdom versus artificial intelligence. This series is about a human and AI collaboration model in the future and logical intelligence, like all our other forms of intelligence, is an amazing tool, as is AI. So, this series is not about putting logical intellect down or artificial intelligence down. It is, as today's dose of Rashmi says, it is about leading with the balance across all forms of intelligence which we humans have access to, the emotional, intuitive, along with the logical intellect. That is integrated intelligence. And right now we are focused on what does an integrated intelligence organization in operation look like. So that is what I suspect this series is going to pivot towards more and more. And now that we have established all these concepts, what integrated intelligence is, what collective intelligence is, what is an integrated intelligence organization, I suspect these doses of Rashmi are going to be set more around a real demonstration of how integrated intelligence organization actually operates. And that is mostly going to be centered around how we, whether at the RASHMI.ai or through what I'm doing at Seeds, are operating and also demonstrate in the process the model for humans leading with their integrated intelligence and working together with AI. And I'm heading to India at the end of this month. So July, this series is going to ship to India. And there is a lot of activities planned while I'll be in India, along with the kickoff for the Green Intelligence cohort. So that should give plenty of real world demonstrations of how an integrated intelligence organization operates. So looking forward to that. Now, specifically about today's dose of Rashmi, about operating with the balance of logical, emotional, and intuitive intelligence. So yesterday we had this webinar where me and another of my colleagues, who's also an advisor to both the RASHMI.ai as well as Seeds, Pankaj, me and Pankaj had this webinar with a cohort of entrepreneurs, and we talked about founders' mindset. One of the things that Pankaj talked about in that webinar was in the context of founders' mindset, balance between strategic clarity and the ruthless execution. And that reminded me of my own journey, how I have been very fortunate to be part of a startup, really see it grow from basically not even having a product to us getting product market fit. Then we eventually got acquired by Cisco. And eventually, with the power of Cisco, ended up being the market leaders in what we did. And I had the opportunity to lead the product through all these transitions. And when I look around and I meet other people, I consider myself very fortunate that I have had the opportunity to see a product from the early stage crazy startup days to the point where I was leading product for a market leading company and be the gorilla in the town. And I even got to experience the innovator's dilemma. Most people do not get to experience that through one career. And in fact, what ends up happening is we ourselves identify ourselves as either serial entrepreneurs and only stay focused on entrepreneurship, or we become scale up big company people. And what we talked about yesterday is that is really a mindset. Each one of us is capable of finding that balance between the strategic clarity and ruthless execution, where any founder, if they are able to strike this balance and recognize what phase of the product journey they are at, they can wear the crazy founder entrepreneurial early stage hat, or they can be part of scaling their business to hopefully eventually be the market leader in the category. So that is possible for each one of us to do if we are truly able to access our integrated intelligence, as well as build a team that complements our skill sets, and we rely on the collective integrated intelligence of the team. And we are building the enterprise mirror to surface precisely that kind of integrated intelligence across an organization. So stay tuned for that. Thank you.